Are we gonna? Are we?
Well, you just counted it down. I started it.
Oh, okay. No. Can we start again? I'm not ready.
Okay. Count us down.
All right. Okay. Well, I don't. What do you want? Do you want to do like an intro?
Figure it out.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Flack. Welcome, flackers and flackies. Is this? Are we doing this intro? Are we gonna?
Oh, you just did it.
Well, we are just doing it. That is true. This is the what's it called?
This is the third episode.
Third episode. Last episode
The other
wasn't
two
the
are
best.
lost media. Go find it.
We had a guest on last episode, and it did not end well.
Yeah, he turned out to be like a pedophile. Like, had a secret. It was crazy.
It was. I didn't even know ferrets could be that dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah. But would you like to introduce us to this music podcast, Flacking Off, and what we're doing here today?
I'm Flack. She's off. We're flacking off.
That does sum it up. The album that which we are flacking to today. I hate the branding of this so much.
You chose it. You made it.
You made it, and then you got upset at me when I tried to think of anything else.
So all your ideas suck.
Okay. We are doing the Tragically Hip's Road Apples, which is a rock-based album.
Was it rock-based or rock and based?
That was a bass. There was some bass in there, but I actually did some research on the band.
Yeah.
And it's a Canadian band, and to give some backstory.
Can we pick another one?
What do you mean pick another one? Okay. It's a Canadian-based band, and some background info is that Road Apple, the name of the album, is uniquely Canadian, and it refers to frozen cow and horse shit, which is used as a hockey puck in pickup hockey games.
See, what I thought when I read that album title is that little goat, the cover.
Mm-hmm.
Little goat like eats road apples, like it's a homeless goat.
Well,
the road apples.
Well,
all you can.
Well, the goat might still be relevant because it could be its dung. You know, they could be playing hockey with that goat's. You know.
I don't think so. The goat looks very, very, very malnourished and very unhappy, so I don't think it would produce very good hockey dung.
I don't want to get into the details of what good hockey dung is and what you'd need, but I'm just going to continue ahead. The Tragically Hip, it's their second album, debuting in 1991. And speaking of being malnourished, you typically, if you are, you don't grow very tall, and you end up with some little bones, which is a good segue to the first song, Little Bone.
Let me check my notes.
I gave you such a good segue. I gave you such a good segue, and you just ruined it.
Yeah, Little Bones. What I noticed during that song is that never heard the singer before, but he sounds like what I'd think the goat would sound like on the cover if he sang.
You really? It gave you goat vibes?
Yeah, he has a high pitch and he was vibrating a lot.
Personally, I thought I've never heard of these guys before this, so I didn't know they were the GOAT, but I thought Eminem was the GOAT. You know, Eminem, cool story about Eminem. A goat once asked Eminem for an autograph, and the GOAT was like, "Sure, if I can have yours."
Are goats able to write?
Only Eminem knows, really. But
do goats eat the road apples?
I don't think so. I don't think so. But
I don't think I'll ever be able to get this out of my mind until I find an answer.
Yeah, no, it's really I think there isn't an answer because I don't think road apples exist. I feel like it is just what like I think it is just dung. Like I really don't think.
Well, I've watched a few like hiking videos before of like they like walk along the highway and they like eat stuff off the highway, and there's been a few apples.
Then I guess I guess
That's
they
what I'm
do
talking about.
eat
Like
road
road
apples.
apples are a thing, I know that, but would goats eat them?
But in Canadian road apples, when they say that, they refer to hockey.
Well, we're not Canadian.
Okay, but the okay, you're right. You're right. Stupid pocket. Stupid pocket. Uh, this kind of music I'm not really used to. I listen to a lot of like not a lot of good music, so very generic rock and roll, which I feel like this album kind of was. I wasn't sure how to feel, uh, but the first Little Bone, it kind of felt nostalgic and like an insight to like the past. I kind of felt looking at the lyrics, uh, and I didn't do this for a lot of songs. I promise you, but I did kind of look up the message behind it or what like inspired it really. If you have any thoughts on what that is before I say it, do you want to?
I wasn't paying attention to the lyrics, nor do I care enough to look them up, but I thought the music.
I thought it was a really, I thought it was a really good rhythm. Like, it definitely felt very sensual, especially with the lyrics too. But it was a bit weird. But it actually dictates the story of the band of them moving to the New Orleans in Canada uh, and getting to know the city, being all new. It's a song about change, really. And the band members were all stuck with like this humidity and like different environment and how it affected their ability to play their instruments. And it also noted since it affected one of their pastimes of pool. Uh, so as they were like becoming acquainted with like the city life and such, when they would go out to like Cajun like places to like for the local cuisine, uh, that like they would often find themselves eating shrimp and chicken. And that experience while playing pool, not being able to, while eating that shrimp and chicken from like these Cajun dishes, sprang up the inspiration for the lyrics for Little Bones, because the Little Bones and how it tells you to like eat it up are what they were eating.
Oh, like how shrimps have little bones.
Well, I think it's more referring to the chicken, really.
Chickens don't really have little bones. They have really
I mean,
big
I'm sure
bones.
for a guy like you who orders chickenless, boneless chicken wings, like maybe.
Have you ever
Personally, I
seen
would.
a chicken skeleton?
No, I haven't, and I really don't want to learn.
Chicken skeletons are massive. Like
Are they actually?
chickens barely have any like skin or fat. It's mostly bone.
Are you looking at
Skeletons are
like
huge.
chickens from like the 1920s?
No, like if you look up a picture of a chicken skeleton, it's massive. It's huge.
But
So
have
I
you
feel
seen
like
that
they would
like
be
image
talking
of
about
like?
the shrimp instead of the chicken.
I I, I guess like I always thought like a chicken skeleton would be small because like there's a lot of fat on a chicken.
No.
But yeah, I don't want to. I don't think. Do shrimps have bones?
Yeah, they have really little bones.
Like the song. You're right.
That's what I'm saying. Like it's got
But
to be referring to the.
mhm. For me, it was like a very weird and like almost sensual the song, especially how it told me to eat the chicken. But it is just fundamentally a
Right.
song about change and adjusting to that new life. It was fairly funky. I'm not used to this genre, so it was really interesting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've got an
But
important question for you though. I
yeah,
noticed the first song starts off with just the audio in the left ear, and then the second song starts with just the audio in the right ear. So that started me thinking, what if we had middle ears? Just imagine like a big ear
okay.
in the middle.
I like on your forehead.
Just anywhere in the middle. Like it could be like inside your head, it could be outside, it could be anywhere just like in the middle of your head. What would happen?
What do you mean?
Would it
What would
replace
happen?
our
I feel
left and
like
right ears? Would it
no.
coexist?
I feel like it'll just like yeah. Like if you think we just like added a middle ear, the other two ears would just stop operating.
Would we have to wear like crazy looking headphones, or would we just like stick with the
I would
left
think
and right
so.
side?
Like, listen, with these questions, you're really twisting my arm here, uh, which is the name of the next song. Because I don't want to get into an in-depth discussion about the
Let me check my
headphones of
notes.
3 years. Yeah, no, it is the next song. It's called "Twist
That
My Arm."
it is the next song, yeah.
It is the next song. I'm giving you these segues, and you're really not doing a lot with them. But
You want me to keep
how
twisting
did
your
you?
arm? What do you want me to do with
I
this?
That's actually ironic because that's what the song is. I want to twist your arm a little bit. How did you feel about it? Like, what kind of vibes did you get?
Let me check my notes. So during that song, I was thinking about I wasn't really listening to it. I was thinking about how aliens would react if this was their first contact. Like this album was the first
This
contact to
album.
humans.
Do you think this song gave alien vibes?
No, not at all, but like what if aliens the first like human thing they ever experienced was this album? What would they think about it?
Uh, well, personally, if I was an alien, I wouldn't be too happy, at least with how I interpreted it. Because if this is my first experience with the human race, to me, the song, it kind of feels like an argument where they constantly mention this like charm of the person that's twisting the singer's arm. I feel like it may be like some kind of romantic relationship
Think
that
aliens would know
is.
English?
Uh,
You're just kind of assuming that. I don't think they would.
I am, but I feel like if you're able to go into space, you have some kind of translator.
Well, that's a good
But
question. Would aliens have a universal translator, kind of like a universal TV remote, like the one featured in Click?
I think they probably would have got inspired by Click, and that would show them how to
Well,
learn
then that it
English. You
wouldn't make
know.
sense because that would be the first contact with humans and not the album
Well,
Road
no, I'm just
Apples.
saying, like, well, yeah, but like you're saying it's a hypothetical, but in actuality, they
Yeah, in
probably
our in
would
our
just find Click.
hypothetical universe, Road Apples is their first contact and not Click.
Then I guess they wouldn't understand any of the songs
That's what
unless they
that's what I'm
find
talking about.
Click.
Like, how would aliens react to Road Apples? What do you think?
I mean, I feel like the whole album as a whole, I think it would be pleasant since at the end of the day, it is just music. It's not like anything loud, aggressive. It's not like some heavy metal. It's not like this like calm, like lo-fi kind of beat. It really is just a very generic rock and roll, and I feel like anyone can vibe out to that. Since I definitely felt like I did.
Well, this is another important topic, which that would aliens even recognize it as music? What if the music we make is the language they speak? Maybe they speak
Then
in
maybe
rock and
they
roll music.
understand the lyrics.
Well, no, because it would be a whole different meaning because they don't know English. But like, what if their vocal cords create an entire band, and that's just how they speak? And maybe they don't even have music because they already have bands as their vocal cords.
I mean, aren't we the same way? Where one
No.
of our most prominent instruments is
Well, it's a
singing.
prominent instrument, but it's not the entire band. It can be, but like, you know what I mean.
I really don't.
Okay, so imagine like an alien stops off in your backyard and it comes out, it opens its mouth and it starts singing let me check my notes. Starts singing Cordelia by the Tragically Hip out of its mouth. And it's just like, yeah, this is my language. I'm trying to speak to you. But you recognize it as Cordelia by the Road Apples.
Do you want to know how that make me feel?
How would that make you feel?
I'd feel funky, cause it to me that song it was slower than like the spunk of Twist My Arm, but it still kept that like funkish motif that it had. Uh, but it feels that song it kept in line what the lyrics were conveying of this angst of like generic abstinence. I thought it was a really interesting song since Cordelia, the name, has is a girl's name, uh, but the lines "I'm not Cordelia" were sung by a man. And
Oh, so he's like pointing out that like no, this song isn't about me, it's about someone else.
yeah, and
That's
he
interesting
kept
because
on, but the guy kept on saying that like I will not be there like throughout the songs, and like they were letting them down. So I don't know if I'm crazy, but I was picking up some gay undertones that they weren't there for that
you
person
think the
that
goat is
Cordelia
gay.
let down. The goat?
In the album cover.
Uh, no, but I'm sure the aliens are.
No, aliens don't have that kind of stuff.
How do you know?
Well, the next song is called The Luxury. What did you think about that one?
We're going through these really fast.
Well, you kind of brought up a harsh topic, and I don't really want to talk about it.
Okay, you're right. Just maybe circling back to Cordelia really quick, since I just have more stuff to say. One of the lyrics that really stood out to me was "A thief blinded on the job has to steal for life," and I thought that was a really interesting line, since I thought maybe it could be a metaphor for whatever Cordelia did, where a thief has to steal for their own livelihood. Perhaps they don't want to, like like all the scenarios of like the people stealing food for their dying family or whatever. Maybe it was something like that. So it made me really interested in what happened.
Interesting, because I remember one time back when I was younger, I used to steal Legos from my cousin
Yeah.
for no reason at
Were
all.
you like? Did you not have toys? Oh, okay.
Uh, I just I just like I don't have that Lego.
Not you might not be like the nicest person.
Well, it was interesting because every time I went over to his house, he was never playing with. I always played with the Legos I had. I was like, he's not using these, but I will, so I'm gonna take them.
Are you sure it's because you were over that you didn't play with the Legos?
I asked him so many times, hey, do you want to play with Legos? And he's like, oh, let's play Left 4 Dead.
Okay, I mean to be fair, if I was a small child, I would also prefer video games to Legos.
I'm just saying though, like they were cool Legos. They're like the gold ones, like shiny gold ones.
Oh, it's like a very luxurious, very the luxury uh Legos.
That's what I'm saying.
Unrelated. The next song on the album is called The Luxury. Personally, I felt like, unless you wanted to say anything about it,
I nearly
it
fell
was
asleep.
giving more. Yeah, no, I was gonna say it was giving more jazzy vibes, like a very more casual, especially sensual
You
like
can't keep
tone.
calling these
Since like
songs sensual.
I suppose I don't know, I the lyrics on like "Eat Your
That
Chicken"
is
was
this
very
is
very
not the
sensual,
theme
but
of this podcast.
I guess. But the singer's quieter tone definitely would allude to like a sleepier vibe, a more relaxed feeling. I
Yeah,
thought it was interesting how it moves at the start of the poem. Yeah, that start of the song from being these more metaphorical things, talking about like this parasite, talking about like not like very metaphorical, very like ideas, to more anecdotal descriptions of the Golden Rim Motor Inn, which I assume is this luxurious inn that the luxury the song is named after. Uh, what do you feel?
I was kind of dozing out. Pay attention
Mm-hmm.
to it.
Uh, Fair enough. I felt like this song, the kind of the main theme was like it feels like a mental block stopping them, the singer, from enjoying a nice vacation, since they kept on like at the end they're just going like I can't enjoy the luxury, uh, and the way it was spoken, it makes it feel like they went with a partner, along with some of the sexual themes of the lyrics. So I feel like maybe along with like the heartbreak of Cordelia, this could also be about some kind of relationship issues, which I feel is a consistent theme I've
Guy
noticed
needs to
throughout
get over it.
all these songs.
Jesus
He does
Christ,
need to
dude.
get like okay, no, like if you're I get it if you're in a bad breakup, but if you're in like this really luxurious inn and you're still pissed off about it, Like if you, it doesn't matter where you bring your bitch wife, as long as like it's a cool place to be. Maybe you're just kind of the loser.
This guy is such a loser. Why are we making the first episode of this podcast about this some loser
I
crying about a
thought this
breakup?
was the third episode.
Nearly forgot. But the first
Yeah,
two episodes really flew by.
went by so fast, really. I'm like, I feel like I kind of blocked out the second episode with the guest. Like, ooh, that was really not
Yeah,
great.
that was kind of traumatizing. I'm still trying to get over that.
Like, oh god, the poor ferret, dude.
There's a ferret.
It's like, yeah, we kind of had to like Ferris Bueller like day out them, where like we kind of like put like shades on them and pretended they were still awake. You know, where we had them like all like shoulder to shoulder, like the guest had like for like half of the episode.
What if they made a sequel to Ferris Bueller's Day Off called Ferris Bueller's Big Day?
That you know how I feel about big days, Panda.
You have them far too often, and it destroys your ego. You know?
Pocket's big day is the first Pocket's big day was an icon. It was
It was
something
horrible
else.
for everyone.
Well, I feel like Pocket's first big day was a really interesting one. Do you want to know when that was?
Was it was it go on.
It was my birthday, the first ever one, when I was born in the water, which is the name of
You were
the
born in
song
water.
after
You
the
were
legend.
a water birth. Born in a pool.
Yeah, it was like it was. No, it wasn't a pool. It was like a lake. Just ambulance on the way. I was a C-section, and they
Did
had
the
to do
fish cut
surgery
you?
really quick. Yeah, I'll get to it. Had to do surgery really quick. But I ended up being like I wasn't meant to be a C. I wasn't meant to be a C-section. But on the way with the ambulance, we just kind of fell into this lake, and then suddenly this big shark just bit down on like my mother's stomach, and then I just came out. It was weird. Like it should have killed her instantly, but turns out both of us were perfectly fine.
That really explains why you're so obsessed with inner workings of sharks.
Oh, it's just all I talk about, really.
I can't believe it.
Mm-hmm. But being born in the water, how did that song make you feel? How'd you like it?
Honestly, I was busy setting up the recording for the podcast and also
Yeah.
not paying attention.
Okay. Well, I felt like the song was kind of like this kind of celebration of the entire town
No,
or
I do
event.
have a note for this song though.
Oh, do you actually?
Yeah, so I wrote a note. So the title "Born in the Water" got me thinking. How do goats give birth? At first, I thought
Oh,
they give birth in the water, and I'm like, no, they wouldn't do that because baby goats would drown.
sorry. Can I
No,
just
I'm not done.
like quick down? Okay,
And
sorry.
so then I thought about, maybe they do give birth in water, but like maybe they lay eggs so the baby goats can actually survive in the water after. Kind of like how fish do it, but like a hard a hard shell egg. So
Potentially,
survive the
but
impact of the hitting the ground out of the goat, as well as surviving the water itself. As a baby goat, you wouldn't be tall enough to reach out of the water and breathe. So you'd have to have a little air pocket egg.
I hate to be that guy, but I don't think goats lay eggs.
How else would they do it if they were to be born
Like
in the water?
every other mammal, I feel.
Well, it confused me because this name of the song is "Born in the Water" and the album cover
I
has
feel
a
like
goat.
you're getting too stuck on the goat. I feel like the album cover was just since like the first song is talking about how they moved to Orlando. Perhaps like that is a photo of their trip to Orlando, or like that like when they're going
Why would there
there.
be
You
a
know,
goat in the album cover though?
because the goat could have just walked in while they were taking the photo.
No, this goat is posing for the camera. He's got a nice 1/3 of
Maybe it's just a
of the
really
shot.
photogen. I feel like the goat is not a consistent theme throughout. the music.
Maybe you're missing the motif here.
Yeah.
The goat motif.
Can I? When does it show up in
It's throughout the
anywhere?
entire song.
Throughout the entire. Could you give like any examples? I beg.
Like during the first, what is it? Little Bones. During the first song, it's talking about little bones. And baby goats probably do have little bones.
Panda. Panda.
What do you want?
Look at me here. Look at me.
Yeah,
I think you're stupid.
No.
I never thought of that.
But yeah, the goat there, definitely an interesting creature.
It's definitely not like.
My mic is not bugged.
It doesn't sound the best. Oh.
How's that?
A lot louder.
That's good.
Well, anyway, back to the song. Since we kind of got a bit sidetracked, I felt like the song was kind of like a celebration, or an event, since it uses like words like front seat and like this game, where it could be maybe like a sports event, and they use words like the small town, like maybe it was just like a big high school football game or hockey game even, and it kind of tells a story of, at least how I felt, someone they met at this event, or they went to this event with someone where they talked about how they were born in the water, raised in the sky, kind of making this like very angelic, heavenly imagery of this person.
I'm an asshole.
Perhaps how you, huh?
But you're like, I'm an angel. Hey, girl, I'm an angel.
No. They were talking about how they were the person they met was like an angel.
That's kind of creepy.
Maybe if you just met, but I feel like it was kind of like flirtatious, since like, you know, the classic line of "Hey, did it hurt when you fell from heaven?" that kind of beat. But I also noticed some like kind of punkish vibes, like of like a rejection of the system, where it kind of like mocks like the small town laws, where like you feel so small against this big, like, despite like the size of the town, you feel like it's a big establishment that like passing laws just because the line makes me feel like they don't really respect the authority of the town. And the ending, I thought it was really interesting because it's asking a lot of questions. Like one, like, of just why were you born in the water? How were you born like in the? How were you raised in the sky? How could you even try from being so different? Since I assume majority of people weren't born in the water, so maybe it could be talking about someone they met who isn't from that small town. And I really just am interested in what they meant by like who they were talking to. How about you?
I'm still pressed on how goats are born.
I fucking hate you.
So I've been thinking about it a bit more. Maybe they don't lay eggs because
They don't. They just, this is like known. This is known that they don't lay eggs.
it's like if they were born in eggs, how long would it take them for hatch? I don't because they don't have beaks. They couldn't crack out of the.
They also, like, goats produce milk.
Wait, they
don't
have
need
horns.
eggs. You can't make an omelet out of a goat. They don't.
Yeah, no
they
shit.
Because,
It's not that kind of egg. But yeah, maybe they do
what do you
actually
mean
probably
not
have
that kind? I feel like you can make an omelet out of every single egg.
not goat eggs. Never you.
Yeah, because they don't have eggs. Goats don't lay eggs.
But maybe they could actually be born from eggs because they have horns and they could hit the egg and like break out.
So a baby chicken can't escape its egg because it doesn't have horns.
It has a beak.
Does that logic mean that like demons and devils with their horns lay eggs?
No, they don't lay eggs.
Listen, Panda, this has been this is stupid. This is stupid, and it's been a long time coming that I wanted to tell you this. It's been such a long time running. which is actually the next song on the
This
album.
has been a long time running. Like we need to. How many more songs do we have?
We are
Jesus
halfway through the album.
Christ.
We are half. It has been like 10 minutes.
Been 30 on the dot.
Oh, wonderful.
I don't have time for
well,
this. There was a.
Huh?
Okay, so I have another note for this song.
Okay.
I was wondering how fast can go.
Ironic that you bring up speed.
I was wondering how fast goats run, because if you look in the picture, the goats the goat doesn't have very long legs, and I think that
a lot like
I think that
couples and like relationships are very consistent. It was talking to a pawn. I'm the one, not in past tense,
right.
But despite the slow song, I feel like it's like a breakup, a sad song, but it's not past tense. So
okay,
and like with how it talks about mistakes and like with the song name being like a long time coming, and like haven't seen a thing, it could be talking about like the griefs of a relationship that's like happening since it's on past tense.
Gotcha.
You can talk about goats now.
I was just it was just funny because most of what you said did not go through because I'm lagging.
Oh.
But that gave me time to talk about goats while you were lagging out.
Okay.
So I'll restate what I was talking about. So in the album cover, the goat the goat doesn't have very long legs. It seems like compared to its head, it's only like the legs are only like half a head length. Well, I was wondering, goats probably can't run very fast if their legs are truly that short. They probably stumble around.
I asked you if we could make a music podcast.
You did, and we're doing it.
Yeah.
They're complain about.
Yeah, I just wish we could bring it all back to the to the very first song when we were actually talking about the music. Unrelated, bring it all back. The next song in the album. How did it make you feel? Do you have any notes on it?
I'm gonna be completely honest.
Yeah.
I took my headphones off. I was not listening to the latter half of this album. I didn't take any notes. I was just kind of sitting there.
I hate you so much.
I just had my headphones off and I was looking at the album cover. I'm just so enamored by this goat.
I'm actually so upset at you.
I mean, it's an interesting topic.
Yeah, the goats?
Yeah. Well, there's only one goat.
Oh no, there's two because I'm here.
No.
Well. I really wanted to talk about music.
And you are.
I am, but we aren't.
I've warned you so many times that I'm not well versed in music at all, and I just listen to it.
You had the opportunity to learn.
Yeah. This goat was so distracting.
Well, I thought the album was interesting. I really liked the album.
It was an interesting album. I didn't expect it to be so interesting.
I don't want to do the podcast anymore.
Well, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate you. You came this far. I appreciate you listening.
Wait, hold on. Before we end it, we gotta give a Flax out of 5 Because I'd give this song a review of 3.5 flex out of 5. The album.
Let me check my notes. I'd say I would give it 4 flax out of 5. Because like the lyrics
It
are
was
so
soft.
interesting in it. Because like talks about like a lost relationship, and like how the singer really is struggling with that whole ordeal. I think it's like
It's
a
not really something I'd listen to, but it was a pleasant listen.
just think the whole like story of it is so interesting.
Yeah.
Because like after all this like all this like poetic lyricism about this whole breakup and like the emotions that come with that, why would they choose to make a so distracting goat cover that
Well,
really
that's all the time we have
takes away
now. Thank
from
you
the whole message?
for
Because
thank you for
while you're
listening to this.
trying
If
to
you
listen
did,
to
I
the
hope you
album,
didn't.
you're
I
kind of
hope you didn't.
you kind of get
This
distracted by
sucked,
this
and I
goat in
hate
the
him.
album
And I
cover.
hate him so much.
And I think it's a
Thank you
really
all for
bad
watching.
marketing move by them. If they really wanted to do something with this album, they would have they really
Shut
should have